Choices are crucial in life. That is pretty well known. Sometimes we may find ourselves at a juncture where we would have to choose. The choice may not be easy. Not knowing where which path will lead to can be a stressful or an exciting thing, depending on how you look at it. Hello everyone, how have you been? In this video, we'll be looking into a poem titled The Road Less Taken, written by Robert Frost. Let's enjoy the poem and discuss the message the author is trying to convey to us. Find out what life tips and life lessons Mr. Frost has in store in this very popular poem of his. Let's get into it. Frost is an American poet known for his realistic depictions of rural life. He was honored frequently during his lifetime and is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. The Road Not Taken is a beautiful poem in a conversational style, and it was published in 1916 as the first poem in the collection Mountain Interval. A well-known poem about making choices and the choices that shape us. It makes you think about life. Reading the poem. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and perhaps having the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Now let's try to understand the poem line by line. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. The word diverged here means to move or extend in different directions from a common point. Wood refers to the forest in which the speaker is, and where his path is diverging into 2, of which one he has to choose, because obviously he cannot travel both. Now the forest is yellow because the leaves of the trees are yellow, which could be a way in which the speaker is telling us that it is the autumn season. He could also have been in the part of the forest where there are a large number of birch trees, whose leaves get that color in the autumn season. When he says sorry I could not travel both, it seems as if he is trying to avoid making the choice, like we try to avoid making the decisions in life. Just as in the forest, the speaker does not know which path will lead to where. Who knows if one path leads to a beautiful waterfall and the other one to the lion's den. Similarly, the decisions which we have to take in life, we don't know the journey those decisions will take us on. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Here the speaker is trying to look down one path as far as he can see, to try and guess what lies ahead. However, he can't see very far because the forest is dense and the road is not straight. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Now here, almost impulsively, the speaker takes the other road. He thinks that it would be better to take it because it has more grass, so it looks like that not many people may have gone down that path. Though now that the speaker has actually walked on the second road, he or she thinks that in reality the two roads must have been more or less equally used, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. The speaker now repeats that the two roads equally lay, meaning are comparable, not much different, because they were both covered by leaves which were not trodden black. Trodden black here refers to the crushing, darkening and the blackening of the leaves which happens when you walk on them or when several people have walked on them for a long time. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. The speaker is now possibly rethinking his choice, but he says that never mind, he has saved the first road for another date and he can go back to travel it anytime he wants. But then he contradicts himself by saying and realizing that the road he has chosen may lead on to another one and another one, until finally he may reach some place from where he may not be able to come back to try out the first road. Just like our decisions in life, once we have taken them and moved on, we may not be able to come back to change them and the things that happened after them. You may get a choice between studying, say, science or commerce or arts, but you will definitely not be able to change them and change what you chose just before your exams, no matter how tough you find them. Or when you make a career or a job choice which pays the bills, but you don't enjoy it that much, but can't change it because, responsibilities. Tell me in the comments if you are comfortable about any such choice which you made in your life which you wish you could go back to and change. On to the final stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverge in a wood and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So the speaker imagines himself or herself ages and ages hence in the distant future, remembering with a sigh the choice which he had made of which road to take. He's speaking as though looking back on his life from the future. He states that he was faced with a choice between two roads and chose to take the road that was less travelled, and the consequences of that decision have made all the difference in his life. Throughout the poem, the speaker is trying to tell us the importance of thinking and evaluating our choices before making decisions, that we may not know what lies ahead, regardless of what decision we make, and also that it may be very tough to go back and redo what we already did. And we cannot change it now. Towards the end of the poem, he shares his experience that he made the choice which not many would have made, when he says that he took the one less traveled by, and that seems to have made his life much different than it would have been otherwise. Though he does not indicate or tell us what kind of difference his choice made in his life, for the better or for the worse. Do you know? Frost wrote this poem to poke fun at his friend Edward Thomas, who was also a poet, who, when walking out with Frost in England, would often regret that he did not take a different path in life. Thomas would sigh over what he might have seen and done. In other words, he regretted not taking the road that might have offered the best opportunities, despite it being an unknown. And Frost liked to tease him. He told Thomas, "No matter which road you take, you'll always sigh and wish you'd taken the other one." So it's ironic that Frost meant the poem to be somewhat light-hearted, but people take it very seriously. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell. That's Researcher signing off.